the trans business across Europe is astonishing. I had a paper some months back where I looked at some of the royal families of Europe going back over the last 100 years.
Yes. Yes.
And you can, they jump out at you. The male qualities, they are actually comical.
I mean, isn't that, but it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, the royal families of Europe are full of, trannies, basically. Trans people, transsexual. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing, right? Really?
It is. Now, you could imagine that would have been feasible in the old days, before the use of photographs and video and all of that, where the people wouldn't get to see them very often, and when they did, they wouldn't get much chance to study them.
Yeah.
And when the camera became available and video and film footage became available, we had a brief window where we could see them in the raw, if you like. But in the last 20, 30, 40 years, they appear to have greatly improved the quality, so that they're much more convincing transgenders now.
Yeah.
And of course, they carry out more surgery on them now. I would recommend, if you're interested, to go out and check some of the junior members of the British royal family.
Oh yeah,
the ones who are around 5, 6, 7, 8. They are just like little boys, you know.
Yeah.
But by the time they're 13, 14, 15, between the chemicals and the hormones, the surgery and so on, they will be more convincing females than they are at the moment.
Well, hello there. It's been a long time. It's been since about a year and a half since I've uploaded a show to YouTube. I've been researching Psychopath since the 1990s, and I have been over on audio because I started as a podcast, and about a year and a half ago I decided to move from doing any shows on YouTube and just focus on the audio aspect, simply because you may or may not know, but I have been sharing my research online since about 2017, right after my book came out, because I wanted to advance our knowledge about psychopaths, so I decided to share it online as I went along. So right now I'm over on audio, but those are the quick and dirty versions. What I basically do is get you up to date with the research, share my thoughts, and it immediately gets uploaded without any interference and editing. All the edited shows are over here on social media because they're highly edited. Mine are not edited, so if noise in the background and stuff bothers your delicate ears, then I'm probably not the show for you. But if you want to figure out why nothing is hiding, why the best ones are sitting next to us, the system is rigged. All televised crimes in the United States are in fact psyopses. And you really don't own what you think you do. As a matter of fact, all U.S. citizens were declared enemies of the state in 1933. I kid you not, and it was never lifted. It's a structure that is a three-pronged structure. So I would suggest that in the meantime, that you make plans for what you want to do about water and food. Psychopaths are extremely clever. They call themselves the parasites according to the Tartaria gang, but the Tartaria gang has quite a bit of this going in the wrong direction. That's how it works. Misdirection, right? Feed you a bunch of lies, get you spinning off in the wrong direction, because there is reason for why we have electricity, and it's not how the Tartaria people tell the story. Because psychopaths, part of what they do is they have this thing about communicating to us what they're up to next. So, and it is in fact the 1% at the very top. But while everybody's busy on social media, lots of transgender people have been morphing in positions all around us. We literally have transgenders hiding in plain sight, because right now they're trying to focus you on just thinking it's the celebrities. It is not just the celebrities. We are surrounded. We are in fact surrounded, okay? And It is the plan, not the bug in the system. So I will be showing you today some pictures about what these hormones do and help you to identify them better, because it is not just the celebrities. The 1% are in fact all transgendered, but you likely know many people in your own life. I, unfortunately or fortunately, from when I worked in Silicon Valley, turns out I was sitting next to several transgender people. I know a few successful men who are now married to transgender women. So it is, in fact, all around us. And it comes from who they are, okay? So today I'm going to be sharing files about my transgender work. I have hundreds of pages of pictures. And so what I thought I would do is do it into a video today, because that'll kind of tell the story. So you might want to put your finger on the pause button, because over on my podcast I've been exploring who are they, and I got who they are a couple months ago. And it also explains why the goat business you see all over. Why do angels have halos? The USA, in fact, founded eugenics and taught Germany. Germans, unfortunately, got blamed, but all the eugenics started in this country. And this is, in fact, a big experiment. No hiding the facts, they do matter. Why exactly do we celebrate Christmas? Do they wear red because of the blood from children like everybody on social media seems to claim? Why do they wear those red-bottom shoes? Why do they call themselves the elites? The pandemic, P-A-N-D-E-M-I-C, is named for their god Pan, P-A-N, a goat-like demon, pandemic. Also, panic, that screeching noise comes from their favorite deity, Pan, their god Pan. So what's real and what's a fantasy? Right now we're looking at a legacy business. Their kids run social media. It's a family business, okay? Their kids are all talking about things like, oh, Julian Assange is locked up. None of that is true. None of that is true. If you think A1 is going to get you with all the local chatter about A1, well, or AI, excuse me, AI is not going to get you. The form they're using right now is teachable AI, a much different deal than just getting into your mind and translating things. Why do they say all this? Well, the best way you can control a nation of people is by their food, their water, and the lies that you tell, and very few weapons will be involved. If they spread the lies big enough and fast enough, everybody is bound to believe it. Right now, just about 99% of the public believes that what goes on in NASA, as far as their spying on us, is true, right? Why do they believe that? Well, because of Edward Snowden. Who's Edward Snowden? Edward Snowden is a royal actor. NASA is not looking into every second of our life, but what they do is by bluff and puff, right? No need for a weapon when you can convince people to be frozen in a spot. People on social media say all kinds of things, like they're going to put chips under your skin. Well, why would they need to go to that extreme when everybody is grasping a device in their own hands, right? You're grasping that chip in your hand. And I might add a very dangerous thing to be grasping. You might check out my shows about smart meters. Let me tell you a little bit about their philosophy and where you and I fit into this. You're either working class or you're the 1%, right? And this is how they view us. This is their philosophy from our education system. Educating us was to instill a sense of discipline and turn us into good little workers, okay? Right now, more banks have crashed. This is May the 4th. More banks have crashed right now than crashed in 2008. And it's only just beginning. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Spend less time on social media. Tap into your own self. You have all the answers because it's all a lie. So here's what they're feeling, and I will read directly from their piece. Their philosophy. In our dream, We have limitless resources, and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. To present education conventions fade from their minds, and unhampered by tradition, we work our own goodwill upon a grateful and responsive rural folk. Rural, R-U-R-A-L folk. That's what they used to call the working class. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning or men of science. Did you hear that? They want you to be educated, but they continue to say, we have not to raise up from among them authors, editors, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we have an ample supply. Their people cover all the top positions. I will continue on. The task we set before ourselves is a very simple as well as a very beautiful one, to train these people as we find them to be perfectly ideal life just where they are. So we will organize our children into a little community and teach them to do in a perfect way the things their fathers and mothers are doing in an imperfect way, in the homes, in the shops, and on the farm. And this came from the General Education Board, 1913, and how they set out to mold us as a society. So I will leave that for here. I would suggest that you keep your finger on the pause button because we will be clipping along at a pace. I will try to join you as much as I can in the comments. If you want to know where to start, if you haven't kept up with me for the last year and a half, just ask me. I honed in on who they are in the last couple of months. So that would be, if I were you, where you might want to start to focus. And I'm very glad that I recorded all of my research because I thought, well, I had an offer after I wrote my book to turn it into a podcast, and it didn't seem like a good deal. It would have been a horrible deal. But anyway, so I decided, why not do it myself? Well, when you grab a microphone when you're 65 years old and decide to share your work, a lot of fun and complications arise. But I've survived it all, and I'm here to share with you everything that I know, because for a long time, people had a very hard time understanding or believing that society is being run by psychopaths, and we're surrounded by them. But I'm here to tell you that this is all true. We are in fact surrounded. They have us outnumbered in evil, but they do not have us outnumbered in numbers. But what have they done is they have a whole group of them. All the top people on social media stuff are in fact aligning with their agenda. And it's not as clever as people have been led to believe, because that is how it works. Why lead a nation with anything but fear and manipulation if you could avoid bringing out the weapons, right? Well, the United States is nothing what anybody thinks, and it's what I have said for the past 20 plus years. The seat of evil is, in fact, right here in the United States, disguised as a democracy. And in fact, the United States is a republic. We were all declared enemies of the state. We have no rights. We never have any rights. So I would suggest, if you're interested, you might consider taking a closer look at some of my work, because I'm here to tell you that nothing is what it appears. So, be safe out there. Goodbye for now, and certainly enjoy the show, and let me know if you have any questions.